All right, folks, big happy Friday to you. April 24th, it's about 10:30 in the morning. I'm running a little bit behind, but no harm, no foul. This is extremely important. Uh, yeah, glorious morning this morning. I sought it fit with the condition of the grounds, weather to come, and the fact that we had a somewhat chillier morning this morning to order a complete full buggy of fertilizer. There's 8,000 pounds in there for all grazing land. It's time. I failed you in a video of all the paddocks, the 9 paddocks west of the farm. You got to be on your A game there between all the gates and all the turning and twisting and the low spots, which you have to, obviously you're not going to drive through them, for God's sakes. I just got here. We are on what we call Kuthas now. As you can see, that is behind the barn, and there's the cattle. This is, as I've said many times already now, I have a plan to completely reserve this for grazing and grazing only. I believe I'm going to need it without question now, with the addition of head of cattle on the farm. We'll see what happens. I don't know if Mother Nature's real nice to us. You just never know what happens. We've had years where we've mowed down and baled paddocks because they were getting away on us. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I called in a buggy of fertilizer yesterday. I picked it up late afternoon. It just sat in the yard. I hooked up to it this morning. Paddocks are all spread. I'm very happy about it. Very, very limited tracks out in the field. The ground conditions are just absolutely exceptional. I'm a little in disbelief actually, but yeah, this is great stuff. Now see, I'm a cow-calf operator. Cow-calf operator that is lucky enough to have I'm going to call it more than a sufficient enough grazing property to where in a perfect world, these cattle, 5.5, 6 months out of the year, all they do is graze. I'm not running out round bales of hay or corn silage or alfalfa baleage. This is extremely, extremely important to me. Anyway, enough of all that. And by the way, we got calves all over the damn place. Boy, them little turkeys. 4 new ones this morning. And as I left the yard, another one was calving. It's just absolutely nuts. All right, let's talk about fertilizer here, and then we gotta get humping here. I opted for a 20-10-26 fertilizer mix. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. 20-10-26. This is 4 tons, 8,000 pounds. There's also 100 pounds of red clover in this. This is what I'm going to call my pasture fertilizer mix. Dad started a program about, well, I guarantee you 10 years plus ago, to where he added in red clover, which is somewhat very common to the grazing fertilizer mix, and it's unbelievable, that red clover that comes up. This field has gotten the same mix for about a few years now. Last year the red clover was so thick in here, I had to let this dry an extra day before I could pick it up, and it comes from that clover. It's just it's phenomenal stuff. So what I did is I upped the nitrogen just a little bit. And of course, what we're doing here is we're referencing good old-fashioned triple 19. I upped the nitrogen just a little bit. Phosphorus is what it is, and potassium, potash, I upped the ante on that. Reason being, very, very important for alfalfa and the red clover. There's not a whole lot of alfalfa left in the grazing system. It's out there, but more importantly for that red clover, potash, very, very important. folks, I got to tell you what, I'm excited as all hell with the weather pattern we have coming. This sun, we've got 2 more days after today through Sunday, pure beautiful dry weather. And then we have rain coming Monday, which I want, being that I'm putting fertilizer down. Don't get me wrong, the ground is moist enough as it is, but you try and time it out when you throw fertilizer down. You're looking for some moisture from up in the air within a day or 2 or 3. It's preferred. Okay, fertilizer program for this year. All of my hay ground, I'm not gonna say I'm getting by cheap, but I'm gonna lower it a little bit. I'm going with 150 pounds to the acre on my hay ground. What am I gonna use for fertilizer mix? I'm not too sure yet. I might just go ahead and go after the old simple 1919. This pasture system, all of it's important. This pasture system is extremely important. I want it to flourish. I am putting down 200 pounds to the acre of this stuff. This 2010-26 comes in at about 65 to 70 pounds per cubic foot. I'm spreading at 200 pounds to the acre, and quite simply, setting number 4. That's how this works. Your broadcasters are run by PTO. And your bottom apron that feeds the broadcasters the fertilizer is this guy here, which is wheel driven, ground driven. We are engaged and we are ready to go. You're gonna have to pardon the windows. Pretty dirty. I've been lucky enough to haul out multiple loads of manure, and to be honest with you, once this is done and I grab a little bite to eat, that's all I plan on doing the rest of the day today and probably tomorrow, is running manure. And I'll be sure to take you with me and show you a video where I'm spreading right now. Folks, if we're lucky enough, the one thing I'm not going to do is work up my field for sorghum. I do not plan on putting sorghum until bar minimum 3rd week in May up here where we are. But the peas and oats and alfalfa, I got a lot of that going in this year. With a little bit of luck, mid to late next week, I see us taking out that cultivator. We'll see what happens. But okay. All right, I'm going to engage the PTO. I like doing fertilizer in C1. I couldn't tell you miles per hour. We are going to bump the RPMs up to about 530. And we're off to the races. You're never going to be perfect broadcasting dry fertilizer, commercial fertilizer, whatever you want to call it. But of course, you try and do the best job that you can. You're going to have overlap. You are going to miss some spots. Of course, I got to do a lot of skirting around because of, well, right there, for example, that is all low-lying wet ground. I do play with the 4-wheel drive here and there. Right now I just kicked it in. I don't make it a common practice, and I should not have went through here. I should have went up here. That's not that bad. It does break my little heart that I can't broadcast on this area here, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, we'll see what old Mother Nature has in store for us this year. As far as me taking any hay off this ground, right now the plan is no. And we'll just see how things go. All paddocks, the days of splitting paddocks into quarters, you know, a quarter a paddock every day, which was 9 paddocks, that's over. It's not even to be talked about. It's guaranteed going to be in thirds this year. And what I did here for this field here, all right, out of 4, you want to watch your tracks here. There's no reason for 4. What I'm doing with this piece of ground here, I've stated it on a different video. We usually just open the whole darn thing up and let the cattle just roam free for about 5 days. That's not going to be the case this year. I want to abide by everything that I can here with this property and the cattle. I bought a whole bunch of those cheaper plastic pressed down with the foot white fence post, portable post, whatever the hell you want to call them. And I just put the 4 in again for a little bit of help. I definitely plan on sectioning this big parcel off probably into 6 sections. I doubt 7. And what I have is I've got enough of that wire, that roll-up wire and posts to go from east to west. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You might not be able to see it with the video here, but this is another low spot here. There's low spots all over the place. Take it out of 4. Big happy Friday to everybody. Hope everything's going okay. And I'll be out here later with the Ranger, the chunk of firewood from hauling firewood this winter. No big deal. And I'm going to assume one of the calves went over the fence here or something, because we got some very interested cows over here. I'm gonna have to check that out here as soon as I'm done. Yeah, calving's been pretty nuts. Had 5 calves while I was gone, and then a couple while I've been home. I got home Wednesday afternoon. 4 calves this morning. It's pretty nuts. But of course that's the goal, so I'm not complaining, for crying out loud. We'll be sure to do some sort of a video, a little bit of a yard update, whatnot. Because I've had to skirt multiple low-lying areas, not for the fear of getting stuck, folks. It's the fear of putting ruts and tracks. You don't prefer that. You don't want to do that. Because of having to skirt around a bunch of areas, I'm guaranteed to have extra. So I'm going to tell you what I do with extra. It depends on the piece of property and what it means to me. Make that make sense. I do one hell of a healthy crisscross. Basically just to add more fertilizer and get rid of it. If I've got a healthy amount left, I'm going to hit what I call the North Hill. We'll just see another low area here. There's probably a handful of people that would wait till they could prolifically tackle this entire field dry. Me, no. It's time. I'm willing to skip some areas which are quite minimal, actually. And we're going to finish this corner here. That's all low land. I'm being Mr. Obvious here today on this Friday. You'll have to excuse me. We're going to hit that far corner there too. There's a brand new calf. That was the, actually I think that's a heifer that was calving when I left. Folks, that's about it. I'm going to shut this down. I got to finish this up. I feel like I'm running late here this morning. I got a pile of stuff to do today, errands to run. I do plan on Perfect World covering the rest of that 8.5, 9 acre field with manure here today. I'll take you with me. We'll do a video on it. And then we'll be sure to do a video, if not tonight, tomorrow, on the cattle. I also kicked the young stock up to the South Hill in an effort to kind of clean them up a little bit, let them clean themselves up, not to mention a little bit of serenity. The yard, their young stock lots, it's now bad. Anyway, in an effort to clean them up, because I plan on shipping handfuls. We'll leave it at that. Wednesday of next week for next Friday's United Producers Incorporated sale in St. Louis, Michigan. They're going. I'm not holding them back. I'm not waiting anymore because I can't. The farm could use a little paycheck. It could use a big one. And I got to start getting that yard in order. I'm not shipping all my calves, but a great handful. We'll do a video on that too and show you what I kind of did. Right now they're just loving life. So beautiful weather up here in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. I don't need to tell you that spring is here. Spring has been here. But there's just something about getting that first buggy of fertilizer out. And of course that's happening right now. A lot of excitement in the air here. I tell you what, I'll do you a favor. I'll skip my next line and we'll take a little look at her. Pure black calf. Couldn't tell you what the sex is, obviously. I gotta get out of the tractor for that, and I'm not willing to stop. So yeah, that's calf number 4 here this morning. We're going to talk to you sooner than later.